Hello, it's the Vookcast. I'm here. I'm Spicy Steven, and with me is lovely Troy. How are you, lovely Troy?
Smelling good.
Are you smelling lovely?
Uh, it's been a hot day. I would not say that.
And also, as well as Spicy Steven and lovely Troy, we have Fancy Daniel. How are you, Fancy Daniel?
Greet.
Oh, you're a fancy
Hello.
boy, I hear.
I am the fanciest of boys.
Oh,
Does fancy
Yeah,
imply, I don't quite know what that voice is getting at?
I don't know either. I've been up for a long time. Troy's probably been up longer just because of
uh,
time zones and shit.
Well,
no idea.
it's time for the news. We haven't recorded for a while because I moved house and didn't have internet, and then Daniel's mouth hurt, and lots of things happened. So we've got lots of things that happened, and we're going to talk about them. Nintendo had more mobile things that I haven't really done too much with, so I might rely on lovely Troy for some assistance here. But firstly, Fire Emblem Heroes came out, and it came straight to iOS and Android. I thought it was meant to be Android exclusive for a while, but that just didn't happen.
I have a feeling that they didn't have a release date set in stone when they announced it for iOS.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely.
Or maybe it was meant to be Android exclusive, and then Apple's like, no, money! Here's money!
They do
Which is
have a
also
whole lot of
plausible.
it.
Do they?
Yeah,
No, but
so much.
I have
Most
no
of it's
idea,
mine.
honestly. Steven.
Well, I mean, we won't go super detailed into it, but have either of you played any great deal of Fire Emblem Heroes yet?
I reviewed it.
Oh, you
Read
did
my
too?
thoughts on Vooks.net.
I did read
May
your
have heard
thoughts
of it.
on that website, Vooks.net.
To be fair, my thoughts were
interesting.
kind of based off the release build, and a lot of events have happened since then. So
Yeah, it's sort of
It's
one of those
actually-
games
it's-
that's going to keep changing. Like every week you play it, it'll be a little bit different.
I feel like there's something like almost every 2 or 3 days,
Yeah, you're probably
and that
right,
sort of
actually.
engagement is important. So,
Especially in mobile.
Yeah.
Keeps you
but
coming
they're also
back.
doing little tweaks to things, so it feels like they're listening to feedback, and they definitely want people to keep coming back to this. And yeah, no, I think it's good. It's,
I mean, if anyone has no idea what we're talking about and hasn't played it, my high-level description, I guess, would be you are a person and you get heroes from all around the...
We are people.
get-
Thank you.
You get heroes from all around the Fire Emblem universe, and then you do like really small scale Fire Emblem fights, like a 4v4 usually, unless it changes later on in the game.
there are some where you have 4 and the enemy has 5 or 3.
Okay. Well, yeah, and you get these characters through everyone's favorite gachapon mechanic where you spend orbs and you get a chance to get new heroes, and you can buy those orbs if you want to, and I'm sure Nintendo want you to. I haven't yet, but I mean, it's
No,
fine.
the game actually does a pretty good job of pretty much just handing you orbs.
Yeah, I've got a fair pile of them. Like, I have never felt like obligated to buy any yet. I'm sure I'd have more heroes if I did, but I don't think you really need to if all you really care about is just going through the campaign.
Yeah, well, I've done a couple of summon runs because it takes about 20 orbs to do a full summon of 5 heroes.
And you get
And,
better heroes if you summon 5 at a time, or it's cheaper to summon them or something?
It's cheaper. It kind of does the Overwatch thing. If you don't get anything good or rare for a long time, it increases your odds for the next roll.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't get any 5-star ones, like if you get 3 or 4-star heroes in a summon, the 5th one has got the greatest chance to be a 5-star. Not
I
guaranteed,
see.
but it jumps up from like 1.5% all the way up to a maximum of about 11%, I think.
That's a pretty decent jump. But yeah, gosh, I don't really know what else to say about Fire Emblem Heroes. I haven't really played enough to say much more. Is there any more
It feels like the least
things?
sleaziest mobile game out there.
Yeah, I guess
That's what I can
people
really describe it as.
sort of, you compare it to, is it Brave Exvius, the Final Fantasy one that's very much like similar in the you get characters that you like and do game things with them.
Yeah, I think so.
Same company, isn't it? That's DNA who made that as well.
I'm not
I
sure.
think DNA just advised on this one. They didn't develop it. But It's definitely got the DNA in it.
Ha ha ha. Well, yeah,
Pun
Fire Emblem
intended.
Heroes. If
I'm
you want to
hanging up
play it,
now,
it costs you $0 unless you want to spend money in it. So go give it a try unless you have a Windows phone.
Oh, but Nintendo's trying to nickel and dime. They just, it's not right and all that stuff. And Mario Run's too expensive and just it's not right.
You spend far too much time on the App Store reviews page. I don't know how you stay sane reading those.
I mean, I don't read. I don't say insane. Oh, wait. Fuck.
Cool.
I do want to play Fire Emblem Fates, but I just sort of keep forgetting it's kind of there, and it's
Fates or Heroes?
like the same as all my Heroes.
Okay.
I just finished Fates Birthright a few weeks ago. After I finally got over the conundrum of I need to make sure everyone's with the right partner for them because
That's the part of Fire Emblem I find kind of annoying.
I had to make sure they're happy. I couldn't just pair them up with.
Going that far is fine, but I feel like a lot of the fandom gets into the weird part of that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
speaking of games that have fandoms,
play,
unless you have something you want to say.
I want to play more Heroes, but it's just I don't know. It just doesn't feel like the kind of game I want to play on a mobile. Like I play more of the, threes and just random puzzle games and crap.
To finish on this topic, I'm probably going to make people hate me and say that I've played more of Heroes than I have Awakening. Let's go to the next topic. Pokemon Go Toe the polls. Thank you, Troy.
I'd like to thank Lunic from Twitter. Sam, that one's on you.
One goes out to you, buddy. Peace. So Pokemon Go has Johto Pokemon in it. I haven't got any myself. I walked around the area where I live, and I found no new Pokemon, but...
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
So this update's more for people who don't suck, then?
Yeah, clearly.
I quite like it, because there's a lot of little quality of life fixes and stuff in there.
Actually, yeah, on that quality of life fixes, it doesn't disconnect every 2 minutes when I'm using the Apple Watch app anymore, so that's nice. Thank you,
nice.
Whoever did it. I can't remember the developer now. I'm out of...
Niantic?
Yes, thank you, Niantic. You made the watch not garbage.
I've been playing a lot since they added the new Pokemon. A lot of people are playing it again. I went down to the lake down here in Canberra, just up in like the Northside Lake, and I saw so many people just walking around that everything was lured up again.
Oh, that's exciting.
And,
I did hear from
the lake
that Kings Park was buzzing again.
Is that like a big
area?
Yeah, that's sort of where Perth...
Kings Park is like a big sort of...
Yeah, it's sort of like the main sort of park and just outside of Perth City, and that's sort of where it got basically decimated during the initial Pokemon Go launch.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, the place I'm heading this weekend, Questacon, it was a huge hotspot for when it first came out for like a month or two.
Okay.
It was packed at night time. So I'll be heading there this weekend to see how that is, because it's a good place for Pokemon spawns anyway.
Mm.
So be sure to let Troy know if you're heading there and he can catch up.
Yeah.
But I've got... let me look. I've got 44 out of...
It was
however
80
many that
Pokemon,
added.
I think.
80 plus. I think Pokemon like Smeargle. That's not in the game because it's got the weird Ditto mechanic type thing going on.
Hang on, what?
It's got a move called Sketch, and I think it just copies the enemy's
most
moves.
recent move or something.
Something like that. So it's basically, it's not quite Ditto, but it's got a Ditto-esque mechanic that they're probably trying to figure out how to do.
Hmm.
And there's new regionals. I think Heracross is South American, and Corsola is like, there's a band around the tropical area of the world.
Is there anything Australian specific this time around?
Still just Kangaskhan.
I mean, that makes sense.
But Northern Australia will get Corsola, so Queensland.
Oh, of course, yeah, sort of in the tropical-esque sort of area.
Yeah.
Go save the Great Barrier Reef by catching Corsolas.
Yeah. What were you asking, Daniel?
Say quick off to Broome or somewhere.
I don't know where Broome is.
It's in the northern part of Western Australia.
It's probably more accurate. I was going to say it's in my cupboard.
They have nice beaches
They
with
have-
camels.
And crocodiles.
Yeah, apparently
Yeah.
we export camels to the Middle East.
Yeah, it's one of the only places in the world you can sort of find wild camels anymore.
It's strange. Anyway, that's not
Yeah,
related
that
to
was
anything.
a good info bite. Anything more Pokemon Go before we go into Switch news?
If you haven't got Umbreon or Espeon, there's a name trick again. It's Sakura for Espeon and Tomeo?
How do people find these out? Do they just try, or is
It's
someone
based on the
leaking?
anime.
Oh, okay. That's neat.
I can't remember. I think it's like Tomeo or something like that for Umbreon. Or you can set it as your buddy, walk 10 kilometers, and then evolve it at day or night, depending on which one you want.
I like that. That's, very old school.
Yeah, just a little Easter egg in there. That's all I really have to add.
Cool. Well, Switch news. The most, I don't know, this is something that I found really interesting, and I hope it's true, but I don't know that it will be. So, President of Nintendo, I can't remember his first name, but his surname is Kimishima.
Donald Trump.
It's not Donald Trump. We should probably not bring that up. But yeah, Kimishima expects that the Switch will sell as well as the Wii did. And the Wii sold really freaking well. So, do we have any thoughts on the likelihood of this happening?
It's nice to want things.
It is.
Look, I would love it if the Switch, became the highest, greatest, bestest-selling Nintendo system ever. Fucking love it. I don't think that... I don't realistically think that'll happen, but I mean, who could have predicted when the Wii came out that it would have done as well as it would have done?
I mean, the one thing it might do that's Wii-like, given Nintendo's recent stock issues with everything, it might sell out for the first 6 months. Like the Wii did. It was really difficult to find.
Yeah.
Have we heard much about it? I mean, I don't remember the Wii really selling out down here.
Oh, yeah, it did.
Yeah, it was real hard to find. Like, I couldn't find classic controllers on launch day. I had to go to like 4 different stores to end up finding one.
That was crazy.
I guess I'm just smart because I pre-order all this shit.
Yeah, I'm glad I have.
But yeah, like, I pre-ordered my Wii. I picked it up launch day. I don't remember any like big drought of things or that.
Well, aren't you the 1%?
What do we? Yeah. I'm fancy. Come on.
Yes, fancy boy.
So have we heard? Because I know it's sold out in America. I think in a lot of places. Has anyone in Australia sold out of it?
I know that EB have pre-sold out of the Neon console. I don't think they have.
I wonder if
Grey.
that's a popularity thing or a supply thing.
I think, I mean, it's hard to really
Or a bit of
say
both.
unless you're from Nintendo, but like, I would guess that the Neon one is probably less in supply because it's sort of not the default option.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people just really like the colours. Honestly, I don't like that it's asymmetrical. Otherwise, I would have gone for a blue one, probably.
Yes, I would have gone for the orange one, but instead I'm just going to pick up, like, because you can buy a set of the 2 orange Joy-Cons, and I'll probably just do that
They're
in
red.
6 months' time. Red, orange, neon.
I've seen them in person. They're actually red.
Oh.
And this is... orange is my favourite colour. I'm not saying this lightly.
I just need
not
them to
trying to
live up
hurt
to
you.
my spicy namesake so they can join my spicy
that's why you're
GameCube.
spicy.
Yeah, they can join my spicy GameCube and my spicy Vita.
Yeah.
Hang on. Do you have like a Spice GameCube?
Yes.
You know the one I want. I want the mint.
Oh, yes,
one.
please. Give me that minty Tales of Symphonia GameCube.
Yeah, can we just get some
Mint
bloody
GameCube. Hang on.
Joy-Con controllers? It's gorgeous.
Oh.
That was an...
Moving on.
Yes.
4!
Well-
Mate, you're out. Can we get James back?
There's some more Switch things. There's lots of Switch things.
Sorry, so can we just go back to with the sales and
Yes.
all that? I mean, realistically, I think maybe what the 3DS sold is what they should be looking for. Which is about, the 3DS is sitting around the 50 to 60 million mark.
Yeah, I feel like it should sell at least as well as the 3DS because, like, I was initially thinking as well as the 3DS and Wii U combined, but then again, a lot of people that buy one would buy the other, and they're not going to buy 2 Switches necessarily. But
yeah.
I feel like there will be people that only
a lot
bought a 3DS that didn't buy a Wii U, and they're probably more likely to buy a Switch because there's no second system. They'll just get the Nintendo system.
And to be fair with the 3DS, a lot of those would be repeat buyers. Like, I mean, I shudder to think of how many systems I've bought.
Oh, I can't wait for the Switch Slim, Switch Lite.
I'm on my 6th 3DS. What the hell's wrong with me?
What the hell is wrong with you?
Junior, try harder.
No.
Okay, so 3DS, so 3DS launch, and then I got.
Are we really
Blue
doing
XL.
this?
Yes, and then I got the Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds XL, and then I got the Jason XL. No, but then I got the new 3DS, and then the new 3DS XL American one because I have an American 3DS, and then a 2DS modified for video capture, and then a Japanese new 3DS when I went over there. And then another new 3DS here. A new 3DS so I could have an American one because I don't like the XL. So only 8.
And so the Switch is region free and has HDMI out, so literally you'll only need one of them. You have no excuse to buy 7 of them, and if you do...
No, I didn't want to buy 7. I just was.
But if they make a Yoshi Switch, I'm going to have to get a new Switch.
I would be happy if they did
Joy-Cons. Or docks.
Like plates, like sort of not really face plates, but I guess kind of face plates, maybe back plates.
Yeah.
But yes.
Like, I love with my I've got a Mickey Mouse faceplate on my 3DS at the moment. It looks so good. It's just like the prettiest thing.
Well, one thing you can do now in preparation for your 7 Switches, you can reserve your Nintendo ID, which is going to be where you can download your games to multiple Switches if you buy multiple Switches.
Yeah.
Well, no,
you can
actually,
give
they
each one a different dwarf name. So Grumpy, Sleepy,
Snoopy, Groupie.
They actually
Bilbo.
did say, and Nintendo said today that they're not allowing, like, downloads will be associated to one system only.
Yeah. So it's not going to be like PlayStation where you can log in on your friend's console and give them your purchases and stuff.
Well, it says downloadable games will be for the downloadable games for the Switch will be locked to one console at a time. So.
Oh, okay. Well, if that means, I don't know, because you can't play.
You can disassociate it, and
because I know that if I'm logged in on one PC in Steam and I try and log in on a second one, it'll log me out of the first one. If it's just like that, then that's fine with me. Like, it just
Maybe
means
you have to,
that I won't
activate that console in a sense.
Like, as long as I don't know, I can imagine they would want to stop people from having, I'll buy 1-2 Switch digitally and I will give everyone my login and share stuff, because that was a big thing that you could do early in the PS3's life cycle. You could share with like up to 10 people, and they clamped down on that.
Which is fair enough.
At the same time, it's less so though. Like,
agree.
I feel like if you can sign in and play on another person's console while you're not using your own, that seems reasonable to me. That's all I'll ever want to do.
I feel like it's going to be with the purchases, like, both have to be connected to the internet, or maybe when you're selling your Switch, you deactivate that one before you get the new one.
I reckon, I don't know, it would be nice if it was PS4 style, where like your main system doesn't necessarily have to be online at all times to be able to play games that you've purchased, but if you're on a secondary system, it will have to be online to make sure that you're not, that you actually own the game. But that seems like it might not be what they're doing. I'm not sure. All this news has been sprung on me out of nowhere. I had no idea. But yeah, you can set up your user ID. So if you want to do that, because they're getting rid of the old Nintendo IDs, I believe. I know that you can use them.
I have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, it's a bit of a
I wish they'd
mess.
talk about that.
So confusing. It's like, Nintendo ID is great. Like, just stick with that. That works fine. Don't know, why do we need another one?
And then they did the
now?
thing where you can log into your Nintendo ID with Facebook or Twitter or Google or your email or Nintendo ID from the Wii U or your Miiverse. It's like,
apparently that's going to do like a friend recommendation thing across all your services. And
that
it's like,
would be
why don't you just
nice.
have a unified service to begin with?
well, I do think, I don't know, it would be good if they had the friend recommendation thing similar to Mario Run, how like you sign in with your Twitter profile and everyone that you follow on Twitter will show up as a recommendation to add. I find that way easier than It's like, oh, hey, everyone, tell me your username, which you weirdly have to do for Fire Emblem Heroes. I don't know why they didn't do the same thing. Yeah, friend codes. But yes, we'll put a link in the show notes of where you can go, basically sign into your Nintendo account, and there's an ID section under your profile, and it'll make you set up a username, and you can change it as many times as you want. Take that, PlayStation Network.
Man, I'm stuck with Flame Condor on my PlayStation.
Aw, diddums.
Yeah, this will be the first service that I'm officially going to be steer review for the beginning.
Everyone send Flame Condor a message on PSN and say, sorry, bro.
Back off.
They're going to be nice to you. Don't tell our loyal audience to F off, you meanie.
I'm not telling them to. I'm telling you to.
Well, I guess I will F off to the next piece of news,
Nice.
which is...
Wow.
Remember how there was that switch?
So
That
smooth.
switch that someone just mysteriously got early. They just sent out their pre-order early. Whoa, mystery. They stole it. They just straight up stole it. That's not okay.
I thought he bought it stolen.
You reckon they confessed, or do you reckon it was a Nintendo snitch?
Troy.
The snitch on the Switch.
For anyone who's not aware, Troy is currently in a silly mood. So just keep that in mind. A Nintendo snitch.
I've been sitting on that for like hours.
It's pretty great, I'll admit. But yes, I guess there was a Nintendo.
Hang on. How did they tell this? How did they tell he's a snitch? Did he have a bit of a twitch?
He tried to stream on Twitch with his Nintendo Snitch Switch.
Oh.
But
Just had to scratch that itch.
It did it did bother me quite a bit that we had to have a stolen Switch come out for us to be able to see what the UI even really looks like. I feel like Nintendo
It's very
dropped
bare
the
bones,
ball a little
to
bit.
be fair.
Yeah.
It's a shame he couldn't show what the virtual console's like on the Switch, because Nintendo's not saying anything. I'm sorry.
You're a big swear
Wait till
man.
the end. We set time aside for this.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a moment.
I mean, I'm on your side, but...
I don't know what else to say about that stolen one. I don't know if he stole it or bought it from someone who stole it. It seems like it was a store that got stock of it and sort of let one go
Apparently
under
it
the
was
table.
a distributor that stole
okay.
them and was selling them. That's my understanding.
I see. Well, on to the next piece of news. Nintendo are touring the Switch around the US, and they have a special guest with them, and
his name is John Cena!
there's not really much
You're not
else
allowed
to say
to make me
about
feel bad for my jokes anymore, ever.
I'm sorry, everybody.
I mean, can we? So can we? Nintendo's been sort of on point with the marketing for this. Like
They kind of have, actually.
that Super Bowl commercial, especially like the 90-second long one. That's what I show to people. Like, this is all you need to see to sort of sell you on the concept of it. And John Cena, he is a very charismatic guy, and he probably helped get the marketing across for it. I wouldn't be surprised to see Nintendo listed as one of the sponsors for WrestleMania this year.
I like that in the official marketing copy for this. I'm just adding to your point. In the official marketing copy, they've mentioned that as a WWE superstar and actor who is as versatile as the Nintendo Switch itself, Cena is a perfect person to kick off this tour.
What? Do his arms come off?
I hope so. Do they?
Does it make the sound?
You should know, Daniel, because you are the WrestleMania.
I mean, he doesn't get injured a lot, so probably not.
Is he a joy or a con?
Is he best in TV mode or handheld?
I mean, can tabletop mode maybe?
I don't want to...
Does he have a kickstand?
I need an adult.
John Cena's an adult.
I wish... Actually, I've got to say... On the actual roster at the moment, there's a guy called Xavier Woods, and he has his own YouTube channel, and he does like a lot of streaming and stuff, and he's been going to a lot of Switch pre-events and stuff, and so...
Yeah, well, I mean, on the marketing, I've been seeing a lot around, like, above the freeway in Perth, there's this, like, big sort of computer billboard screen thing, and that's had the Switch on it when I drove past, which was kind of amazing. and I know it's just been around. I think I've seen... I don't remember if I saw something on TV, but it has definitely been around. Nintendo seem to actually be putting a fair bit of effort into advertising, which is kind of nice.
I think they kind of realise this might be a make or break moment for them. I mean, look, even if the Switch doesn't do well, that won't be the end for Nintendo. I still think they could have at least 1 or 2 more console generations to try it out.
I think the gimmick of the Switch is a lot more approachable than the Wii U's gimmick was. So
yeah.
Because the Wii U was never fully realised.
It basically is the Wii U for the whole...
It's the Wii U's final
the
form.
The off-TV play. Yeah.
Well, when they said that it takes DNA from all the Nintendo consoles over time, it's pretty true.
Yeah, they're not
but
kidding.
I think... Yeah.
Getting back to the whole John Cena thing, I wonder if this means we'll actually get a wrestling game on it.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
The Wii U didn't have a single wrestling game. The
Did the
3DS
Wii?
only got All Stars. Oh yeah, All Star. We had like the SmackDown, and I think they actually got WWE 2K13.
Okay, well, I've been completely out of the
NBA
wrestling
2K,
game
aren't
loop
they?
since PS1.
Can I just? I haven't. I played all the GameCube ones.
WrestleMania X8 was garbage.
No, but Day of Reckoning was really good. And I think I bought All Stars on the 3DS.
Hey now.
I mean, I
Thank
would,
you, Troy.
Oh, let's not. I just want, like, can we get a modern version of WWF No Mercy?
I mean, you never know if you don't go.
Never shine if you don't grow. But
I'm a believer.
NBA 2K is on the Switch, isn't it?
Don't you mean
And they
basketball?
make WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah, sports
Yes.
ball. They're making a... Point being is that the publisher is making games for it.
See, the thing is, I think with the Wii... with this... I'm getting confused with names. With the Switch being, all about the whole... Hey, let's do the tabletop multiplayer stuff. Something like an NBA Jam would do really well on that.
Yeah.
As opposed to the NBA. And that's why I think maybe if they did sort of a more of a No Mercy or even the old WrestleFest style wrestling games that are just more for light, fun, quick games, that would be great. Better than bloody WWE 2K16 or whatever that, 17 or whatever.
I
Yeah.
don't play wrestling at all, so I have no idea.
I remember I had a hell of a lot of fun with like SmackDown 2 on the PS1, and I haven't played a wrestling game since, but I'd be open for it if they did a Switch game.
You all need to play No Mercy.
Clearly. Well, Big W have no mercy on prices for bundles.
Oh, man, I'm just like...
This is your job, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah,
There's a certain line from Archer I want to quote at the moment.
Is it about
That may not
ants?
be appropriate. No, it may be
That's
about
like
that I'm already excited.
Yeah. So Big W have announced bundles for Switch, which is really unusual because haven't they pre-sold out already? Or
I believe so. I'm told that a lot.
like, I guess if you've already pre-ordered at Big W, then good for you because you can get Zelda with your Switch for a combined $519 and 1-2 Switch with your Switch for $499. So
that was at the 50
nice.
and 30 respectively,
Which is really,
on
really
top of the
good.
console.
I strongly suspect that EB Games won't price match this. They've been fairly iffy with bundles in my experience, so give it a go,
Iffy,
but don't get...
It's at their discretion, because I think some of them do kind of just want the sale and will go, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But don't...
Maybe if you
it's not
trade in a pile
guarantee.
of games at the same time, they'll look upon you fondly.
Yeah.
But they
I have
do
no idea
have
how it works.
some like reasonable prices for the actual games alone as well, like Breath of the Wild, $75, same for Bomberman, $55 for 1-2 Switch. That's, better than $90 and $80 that other places have them for.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's if you want to get some Switch stuff a little bit cheaper, go to Big W. Okay, so we've come to that moment. We sort of mentioned this earlier, but we need to have a chat about the Virtual Console. And so I'd like to frame this in all that we know about the Virtual Console so far is, I think I've mentioned this on a previous episode, there was an interview with Wired Magazine, Chris Kohler, who talked with Reggie Fils-Aimé, and it was like, so people have bought thousands of dollars worth of Virtual Console games. What's going to happen on the Switch? And Reggie's response was, there's 6 weeks until the Switch comes out, so keep your ears open and your eyes peeled, and we'll tell you everything you need to know.
And your heart's true.
And
I
it's
guess
now
that was
1
5
week
weeks ago
out.
now.
Yeah, that was 5 weeks ago. There's 1 week left until we purchase the video game machine, and they've said bunkus about it. So, yeah, how do you feel about that, friends?
Bad.
I have more Virtual Console games than probably used to combined.
I wouldn't doubt that. I have a lot of Virtual Console games, but you have a lot of Virtual Console games.
I have a fair few, but I have no doubt.
I wish I could sing one of their songs, because then I would, to counteract your Smash Mouth. But
Hey now.
Well,
no, that's anyway. Look, I love the idea. I think Virtual Console is just one of the most amazing features of Nintendo's console since the Wii. I love being able to buy all of these old games again, and then again, and then again. In the case where I want something on the 3DS that I've already bought on the Wii U, that I've already bought on the Wii, because it's better portable. I think it's just a great way to showcase Nintendo's history, and it's something none of the other competitors can do, because they don't have the rich back catalogue, and that's only just Nintendo software. Once you get third parties in there, it's just the amount of good quality content that, like, on the Wii Virtual Console, there's so many good games on there, and
I feel like they never quite did it as well as they did on the Wii. Like, they had non-Nintendo stuff on there, and back then a lot of us still had CRT TVs, and you could get stuff running in original resolution, which you can't really do anymore. It was literally the best way to play a lot of these games, aside from the original system. It's probably even better than that in a lot of cases.
Oh yeah, I mean, and as you say, like other systems, Commodore 64, Neo Geo, TurboGrafx.
Yeah,
Mega Drive.
What was the Castlevania game on TurboGrafx CD/PC Engine? Rondo of Blood. Yeah, that game is ridiculously difficult to find, and PC Engine CD systems are notoriously dodgy. I paid like $10 to download that on my Wii, hooked it up to a standard def CRT TV, and that game looked phenomenal. Like, you can't beat that. And I want that again.
And like, I kind of get them not being able to bring that all across to the Wii U, but even then, you could still play it on the Wii U. You just did the transfer, and all your games were there, and that was cool. And like, but then with like the Wii started out really strong, and then it did get a bit stop-starty. Like, we went from 4 games a week to 2 games to 1 game to maybe 1 game.
Went from a steady stream of
go,
Wii Virtual Console to a small trickle of Wii games.
and then it's like, oh, we've got Virtual Console Arcade, and then it's like, here's a bunch of games, and then nothing. Whereas Neo Geo is like, oh, here's a game every week, just fucking play your King of Fighters.
And we've got all these King of Fighters games. You can get a new one every week.
And it's just it's been very stop-startish with the Virtual Console. Like the 3DS, Sega's like, here's all these Game Gear games, and then no more. And I'm like, but you've still got other games there that just... Where's Wonder Boy 3, Dragon's Trap, or even just Game Boy games in general? Like, they never really went that deep into it. I mean, we've got a lot on there, but it's just... I mean, so the point I'm trying to make is, like, the Virtual Console's a great idea, but they've never fully, properly committed to it, and I get you don't want to flood the market with a lot of games at once, but I still think there's, like, value in the slow trickle approach of, like, here's a game every week, there's a new Virtual Console game, let's make a big deal about this game, and then focus on the next one next week. Although I don't think people are going to be too accepting if Nintendo do that on the Switch, just because
it'll be the third time.
Do the trickle again. I will be mad.
Yeah. So, I mean, I really do want there to just to, like, well, everything on the Wii U is on the Switch. Everything on the 3DS is on the Switch. Within reason, like, DS and Wii, I don't think they could do properly just because of the control inputs. And then start trickling out new games that haven't been on the platform before. But I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I just think it's going to be, hey, here's Mario Kart, and And actually, that's the other thing. It's like the Switch launch. There's not, there's like 5 games at launch.
Yeah, Virtual Console sure would pad things out. At least for me, like probably not for a lot of people buying it, but for people, and I guess people like us who are nostalgic and old people, they'd be like, yeah, I'll play through Mario Brothers 3 on my Switch. Hell yeah.
The simplest one I can think of is, here, hey, look, you've just bought a Switch. Here's Super Mario Kart, and then you're out with your friends. Hey, you want to play some Super Mario Kart? Cool. Let's unplug the things and then 2-player Mario Kart.
Yes.
I mean, I think a lot of those co-op games, like Street Fighter, probably won't happen because of the HD remake coming out. But like Bubble Bobble or Contra or just any sort of multiplayer co-op game at launch for the Switch sort of adds to the whole selling point for it.
Yeah.
The same way as like the NES Mini with its co-op games was a great idea.
Yeah. I think that the NES Mini sort of got a lot of people who hadn't really cared about Nintendo for a while, and they went crazy and bought the system. And
that was actually quite clever of them.
Yes, yeah. And yeah, I think it would be really cool if they capitalized on that and sort of made that one of the many tentpoles of the Switch, hopefully. Did you have any thoughts, Troy? You have been somewhat quiet.
Yeah, I'm worried my cat got into a fight.
Oh no.
That's alright. There've been lots of cat fights. Anyway, I got a lot of Virtual Console games. I hope they all kind of are available in some form, like, to go. And maybe they could focus on promotions. Like when Mario Kart comes out in April, you've already got Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart 64 there. Just make them on sale or something. Do some sort of bundle. Because if you have people out and about playing them, and people see you play them, or you talk about friends, and you can go, "Hey, this is Mario Kart in the olden days." It'd be a good
especially because of the whole pick up and play element. A lot of those older games have, and if you're just out with some friends and like, "Hey, you want to play some Mario Kart?" Okay, cool, got it there, then there. I just do worry about waiting so long.
I think the last point that I have to bring up Virtual Console wise is I really hope that they sort of keep going on this. I don't want to call it a streak, but they've been reasonably good over the most recent sort of old games, bringing them back, NES Mini and a lot of the like Sega. I guess they're probably not some Virtual Console, but a lot of and I guess like the M2 GBA games and stuff like that. They've been generally pretty good at bringing the Virtual Console games back in I guess just a really good quality way. Like N64 on the Wii U was a disaster, but then they've sort of had the GBA and NES Mini that they've put seemingly a lot more effort, and the games look a lot nicer, and it's probably one of the better ways to play it now. I really hope that the Switch just continues that and gets all of the Virtual Console games the best they can possibly be on the Switch's screen. I don't want them to be trash.
GBA Virtual Console didn't have multiplayer for, kind of obvious reasons. But imagine on the Switch, you have GBA games.
Well, you know what's funny? Like on the 3DS, I think Pokemon's the only one that does wireless multiplayer.
Yeah, so they figured out the idea of it.
Yeah, it's sort of weird it took so long for them to get there.
But imagine playing Mario Kart 64 at, say, PAX or something. Just sit in a bunch of beanbags and play.
I mean, it's perfect.
We have options for what Mario Kart to play.
Like, I think the Wii U is on track. With where they are now with Virtual Console on the Wii U, it's sort of at a good spot. Like, we're getting Harvest Moon 64 this week, which is a game... Even Natsume is like, "Oh, we've lost it. We don't know where the original code is. You can't have it. Very sorry." Or like Excite Bike 64. All these sort of... It's almost at the point where it's like a game a week now for the Wii U Virtual Console. Whereas I think the 3DS has been a bit of a lost cause for it, because it's like they never fully got behind Game Boy games on that. I feel. I really think there is if they just sort of keep what they're doing with the Wii U, but then bring on all the platforms that the 3DS has got, and then just... All
the platforms that the Wii had. I'm crossing my fingers. Like, I would be okay if they didn't have Commodore 64, but I want lots of... it would be wonderful if they did, don't get me wrong, but if I have to not have Commodore 64 in order to get PC Engine and arcade stuff, I'd be okay to make that sacrifice.
Mate, I want to play Jumpman and Mayhem and Monster.
Oh, imagine if they brought
The Last Ninja.
the Gianna Sisters Commodore
International
64.
Karate. No. So, have any of you guys really played C64 games at all?
No, none.
Well before my
'cause
time.
I'm old,
I had an
so I know.
Amstrad PC, but that was old when I had it.
I grew up on DOS.
One of the greatest games on the C64 is International Karate. It's like a very early 2-player fighting game, and just the idea of playing that on the Switch. Well, I got a mate of mine who's into that game as well, and it's just that would be perfect.
Well,
Won't happen.
yeah, hopefully the Virtual Console will hear more about it in the coming week, because they don't really have any other time to tell us about it. You promised, Reggie. But
I mean, they did say something about like you'd get like a free downloadable sort of with the whole
yeah.
paying.
Virtual Console is coming. I just don't know launch.
it's just a matter of any details beyond. Yep, it'll sure be there. But we will go to a break. That's the end of the Switch news, and we'll come back to talk about a game that Daniel has been playing.
From the moment we met, you could see that I was filled with desire. Only one thing you
Dun, 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 dun. We are back, and now Daniel's gonna talk about Dragon Ball Fusions.
To buck with the buck to the bumble to the. Okay.
So, what would you like to tell us about Dragon Ball Fusions, Daniel?
I'm playing.
Oh, cool. And so, our next topic on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
So like this is like the 3DS hasn't had that good of a run with Dragon Ball games. It's only been this and that rubbish fighting one that came out last
That
year.
one was okay. It was fine. It was.
3DS could do better than that though.
High
To be fair, I
standards.
only really played the demo. So, okay, Dragon Ball Fusions. It's a RPG set in the Dragon Ball universe, kind of, but not. It's like its own sort of unique storyline. You play as a custom character. Actually, the game has a really good custom, like a character creation tool. So you pick one of the 5 races, and alter your various features and all that. Kind of in depth. Like you don't see a lot of stuff like that on 3DS games much. Sort of maybe Fantasy Life, I guess. And then you and this other character called Pinch, I think, find the Dragon Balls, and then it's like, oh, I wish we could have a tournament to fight all the world's greatest fighters. And then it's like, okay, here's all the Dragon Ball characters from all the different timelines, and like here's a young Goku, but here's an old one as well, and then here's all of them, and they're in this world now, and you can go on adventures and stuff, and that's the game.
It sounds a little bit sort of
Really
fan
awful.
fiction-esque. Like, here is just everything you
it
could
is.
possibly
Yeah.
want.
It is so fan-fiction-y, and it's even got stuff from the current series Super in there that really doesn't... Well, it fits in, but it
It's a
doesn't.
little Fire Emblem
And
Heroes-ish too. It's like Dragon Ball Heroes.
yeah. So, I mean, honestly, the story is there, but I sort of don't care about it. It's just like, oh, okay, we're going to this next area now. Cool, awesome.
So what do you care about?
So, the gameplay, because it's like, it's a turn-based RPG, but sort of very strategy-like as well. So, as you're flying around the world, you'll encounter other fighters. There's no random battles or anything. You can sort of see where they are on the map. Sometimes they'll chase you, but once you get to a certain level, they'll stop doing that. You need to chase them because they don't want to get their ass kicked. And then you get into fights with these other sort of... Oh, not even Dragon Ball, not even characters. They're just sort of like no-name randos who...
Okay.
Like, using the creation stuff. This is a Namekian guy. This is like a random Saiyan. And then you'll get in fights with them, and it'll be like a turn-based... It's I guess that's just probably more of an active time battle system.
Is there another game that you could compare it to? Is there a fusion of games you could compare it to? Something meets something.
There is. So I guess that there is a... I'm all over the place. Let me just back up. So with... Like, you to get your party, you have to collect other fighters, and including these other randos you encounter, you can sort of collect them, as well as certain named characters. Actually, every single Dragon Ball character you can collect.
Wow.
To have in your party. And then that adds to another thing. The title of the game's Fusions, and you can actually fuse most characters together. Again, it's not like you can fuse Goku with Chi-Chi.
Why not?
But because you can't.
I'm not going to buy it now. Sorry.
I mean, like looking at the fusion spot, like I've got like Pan, and she can't fuse with Krillin or whatever, but there's other characters that she can fuse with. I don't know who they are because I haven't.
Can you fuse King Kai with Master Roshi?
Hang on, which one's King? I haven't seen King Kai. Oh no, I've been to his planet. I guess you can't collect him.
What a disappointment.
Well, you can't collect Guru either.
Ugh.
But like the example I've got in my mind is Chaozu. You can fuse Chaozu with Tien.
Of course.
Or you can fuse him with what was the little green guy from the Ginyu Force?
Oh. I have no idea on their names, but the little green guy from the Ginyu Force is what I'll go with.
Yeah. So, he can fuse with him or that, or like Krillin can fuse with young Goku or some other characters, and it's like, it's just like Krillin fusing with young Goku makes Gorillin, which is like an amazing name.
That's what I do with my cheese sandwiches. I gorilla them.
Yeah.
Yes. And I mean, it sort of adds a bit of a Shin Megami Tensei feel to it, because a big part of Shin Megami Tensei is you're collecting all these monsters to make stronger monsters and demons and just fuse them all together. And it's the same with this. Like, once I started getting into the fusing stuff a few days ago, I'm like, oh my god, I need to just go out and have battles with everyone to collect more of these fighters to fuse to make even better stuff. The whole collecting mechanic, though, was a bit of a nuisance because you have to get in battle with them and you have to get your ultra meter up to a certain point and then attack the one you want, so you knock him out, and it just takes a while. The battles themselves are sort of like I don't know if this is before your guys' times. Did anyone play like Marbles or...
Is that a video game? I know what you're talking about, by the way.
But yeah, so
I
like,
had Marbles,
got
but I never played the titular game Marbles.
No, I had Marbles, but I lost it.
I never did either, but you know the principle of it, right? So you've got like your marbles and you got to try and flick them out. Sort of like lawn bowls, which, oh my god, I'm
basically
old.
like Tazos.
Yeah, so each battle will be like on a circle or a square, and then when it's your character's turn to attack, you'll fly over to whichever enemy you want to attack, and then you can knock them. Like you hit them in a direction, and they could hit another enemy or one of your guys, which will do more damage. And it's all about sort of setting off these combos and positioning your guys so they're in the right position, but also making sure that they don't get knocked out. There's like it's a lot going on, but then there is.
So is it like a super version of the Street Pass game in Smash Bros on 3DS?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, actually, it's a lot like that, except turn-based and. Well, no, it's not even. It's active time battles. So there'll be like a bar down the bottom of where everyone's turn is, and sometimes some characters will move a lot faster, so they'll overtake people, whereas other ones, if someone doesn't attack you, that could knock you back further. Whereas if you get knocked out of the field, you'll be right back to the beginning of it. So it's all about just trying to manage knocking your opponent out so they can't attack, and try not to get knocked out yourself, which is really, it can be annoying if you're in a battle and they just keep knocking you out over and over again. It's like, I just want to hit someone. Let me hit someone so I can kill them.
Just before we get to the next bit, the green guy's name is Guldo.
That's right. I know it's out of a G.
That's pretty cool, though.
Really, though?
Yeah, though. Sorry.
I mean, I'm enjoying it. Like the story, as I said, it's there. But I'm only probably about like 15 hours into it, I think.
Only 15 hours into it. How long is it to you, the best of your knowledge?
Well, it's meant to be like from how long to beat. I saw around 30 hours, but that could just be someone rushing through it. I could see myself getting a lot into this, and I think the main thing I'm finding appealing about it is it's just sort of so different to anything else I've ever played. Like, I've been trying to get into Pokemon Moon for the last few months, and I just can't because it's like, it's Pokemon. I like Pokemon, but it's Pokemon.
Is your interest in Pokemon Moon waning?
Probably. Shut up, Troy.
I'm glad you're on our podcast, Troy.
I am too. As a person who wasn't allowed to watch Dragon Ball Z as a kid, so someone without a childhood,
Yeah.
asking for a friend, would they still enjoy it? Is the gameplay substantial
I guess
enough?
a lot of it, because like I'm enjoying it because I've got like, there's like, Trunks and all of that. I guess, it's, again, I don't think you really need to have any knowledge of it, but it certainly doesn't hurt.
I'd imagine it would be similar to
Otherwise-
playing Fire Emblem Heroes without any familiarity with Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, otherwise you're just going to be seeing all these guys with like, in orange jumpsuits with similar spiky hair, but going, why do they all look the same?
Why are all these
But
Dragon
that's
Quest
kind of
characters
not-
in this game?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oof.
I mean, yeah, it's a, in my famous words, it's a good game.
is it more fan service than game, or is it more game than fan service? This is another way of phrasing my question.
I mean, I'm enjoying. I would like. I think this gameplay works fine without the Dragon Ball aesthetic, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like the
Yeah.
actual game
Like-
itself
like-
is fun, regardless of the fact that you're
yeah.
using Dragon Ball characters.
I mean, I think, the fact that it's Dragon Ball is probably off-putting to some people. To the degree that, yeah, if you're not a Dragon Ball fan, you're probably not going to get not be able to see past that. But the gameplay of it is really fun and enjoyable. My only really gripe about the gameplay is the battles sometimes take forever. Because, when each side has 5 fighters and you're just trying to whittle them down, and more so if you're trying to recruit people, it can just go on a bit.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I am, really enjoying it. It's probably going to carry me through, maybe even past the Switch launch.
Uh-oh.
Are you gonna play anything but Switch when the Switch comes out?
Probably this.
Fair enough.
I've also got Dragon Quest 7 I still need to finish as well, so...
You play lots of
I've
Akira
got so much.
Toriyama-based games.
Oh, so when and if I get back into touching is good, I do also want to try and do the Blue Dragon games soon,
Oof.
so...
You're setting yourself up
Yeah.
for a lot of gameplay hours.
Yes, all the grinding. So, like, yeah, I'm really enjoying this. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball, definitely go out and get it. If you're a fan, the whole sort of collect them all element to it, it just, I could see a lot of people just like looking at like the game FAQ spreadsheets of trying to figure out how to, like, because some, like, it's not just like you can fuse everyone together. Some characters you need to, well, you can only fuse these two together once you've already fused this other one with this other guy, and then it's like, that's like, maths and calculations going on in your head trying to figure out what you need to do.
Cool.
Um,
Like,
I'll stop.
yeah, I
waffling
guess
now.
that's probably Dragon Ball Fusions. If you like Dragon Ball, you might like Dragon Ball the game for fans of Dragon Ball. So yeah, I don't think we'll bother going into another break before we finish up. We'll just power right on through. Yeah, has there been some fun things going on in the Discord? Not to throw it at you out of nowhere, Troy. I hear there's some numbers that we have of people in it that is high and good.
Well, during the recording, we just hit 280.
Woo!
That's almost 300. That's as
That's-
many as 4 tens. No, it's...
Goodness me.
And that's just terrible.
yeah, someone got it. Honestly, it's awesome to have such a big community. It's just ballooned, and I hope the Switch launch will give us an opportunity to just keep on growing.
I'm gonna say I have trouble keeping up with it at now, and I can't imagine it's going to get ridiculous during the Switch launch. It'll be a good ridiculous.
Well, it's great. We've got different regulars for different channels. I try to be a little bit active in all of them, but whatever you want to talk about, people will talk about it with you. There was a big philosophical argument last night, and nobody got mad at each other somehow.
Wow, how
It's a really good community. So honestly, if you like Nintendo games and talking to people, join the Discord.
And if you want to
Because-
join in on certain events coming up, I hear there might be another thing you could do on the Discord.
Yes, Saturday, the 25th of February. It's going to be the last games night before the Switch. Because I still have no idea what's really going to be on the Switch for games nights. So for the Switch weekend, we're probably not going to have anything just while we figure it all out.
We'll all just scream about how much we're enjoying Zelda.
If there are online things that you want to play, I don't think I need to organize anything. Just jump on the Discord and say, hey, I want to play Bomberman with people. I don't know. Is that online? I don't know.
I think it is, but I don't know when we're getting online in Australia yet. So, yeah, I guess we'll find that out when probably after the system comes out because Nintendo.
So stay tuned to Vooks, and if there's multiplayer stuff, then join the Discord. Yeah, that's it really. I mean the midnight launch and Switch Day is next Friday. It's a week away. So last time when we did the Pokemon midnight launch, we had people share in photos from their local launches. So I encourage people to do that again with the Switch launch.
I'll take some photos of my not midnight but 8 a.m. launch because WA
Western
doesn't
Australia.
know. Midnight doesn't exist here. We have like a secret midnight hour and that's it.
It's really sad. I'm in Canberra, which is tiny, and we have midnight launches for like, I don't know, Woolworths for a new type of bread.
Can I please get the new super white bread from Woolworths?
Oh, you should have pre-ordered.
Gosh dang it. I'm going to have to settle with friggin' pumpkin seed.
Some multigrain.
That's the yeast of your problems. Anyway,
So that was the Discord update. As usual, there's stuff going on the site. There's a hell of a lot going on the site. There's a buyer's guide is the biggest thing that's on there right now. And
it's like 3, isn't there? There's one for the console, one for games, and one for accessories.
Yeah, sort of one to know, what all the accessories are, what you're going to need, what you don't need. A giant FAQ, a launch lineup bargain guide, a system bargain guide.
It's worth mentioning because the Switch is region-free. The bargain guides for the games now include a couple of import.
Oh, yeah, I
like
noticed
PlayAsia and Amazon.
Freaking, yeah. I'm not sure. I think it was all Vook. I can't remember if anyone else was doing that, but gosh dang, it's thorough. Like if there's a game
he's lost
you
a
can
lot
get
of sleep.
Yeah, and he didn't have much to start with.
So click those affiliate links. I mean,
Yes.
Look at the articles.
I hope you follow Vook or myself on Twitter because there was a cheap SD card that was only cheap yesterday. So if you
It's like
don't have
$60
it now,
or something.
it ended
I'm
up being
kicking myself 'cause
$91 for a 200 gig micro SD card. I mean,
200 gig.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well, what it was is there was like a code that got you 11 Australian dollars off. So, worst case, if you pay $100 for a 200 gig card, that's probably not the worst thing. Yeah, it's all on the site if you want to have a squiz. And if there's any new deals that come up, I'm sure they'll pop up either on the site or on Twitter. Will probably be the fastest way they appear. Yeah, on the site there's reviews. Not really many recently because video games, I mean, why would you bother bringing one out at this point? Switch is soon.
we're at the calm of the storm.
Yeah. If you want to know all about Picto Party, that was a fun game that's basically that game where you draw things and people scream what it is. I can't remember what it's called. Pictionary. It's basically Pictionary on your TV, and it's really good, but no one's going to play it because it's on the Wii U, and the Wii U is almost dead. So that's a shame. And if you want to read about life speed, it's not wonderful.
Oh, let's not bring that up.
We'll bring up nothing further about it. But if you want to know the opinion of one of our newest reviewers on life speed, give it a look. Find out what they thought. That's a thing.
She did a lovely review. I thought she was quite honest and
So yes, thanks, Sky.
despite what other people.
There's still eShop updates.
Oh yes,
I've
of course.
got back into the swing of them.
They're a
with
little
the
bit less
Harvest Moon.
stressful these days than they have been in the past, by the looks of things.
Yeah, they kind of died down. Back into the swing of doing the weekly stuff, and then this is actually technically the last update before the Switch launch because they update Thursday night, which is a Friday. So the next one will happen during the launch of the Switch.
Ooh, good luck with that one.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, if you want to follow the site anywhere, it's vooks.net, VOOKS.net. On Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all the social bingity bobs at VOOKS.net. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Stephen Impson. Where can we find your beautiful words, Troy? Your lovely words.
Well, Stew Review, STEW Review. Be warned.
He's a nasty man.
I'm going to be talking about smelling the Switch a lot. Just go with it.
It's fine. And where can we find your
and whinging on pop vinyls?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
don't
a little
follow
bit.
Troy. Don't follow Troy if you're a pop vinyl tragic.
Yeah, don't do that anyway.
Don't be a pop vinyl tragic.
Don't even breathe if you're a pop
That's
vinyl.
not very nice.
Gosh.
No. And if you want more abusive
But-
messages like that, where can we find your fancy words, Daniel?
Worth Nintendo on Twitter. I don't sort of rip on people. I think I'm nice.
I mean,
Most-
pop vinyl fans are a kind of a... Anyway, I'm not going to
Anyway,
say anything
let's
incriminating.
not.
They
let's-
don't count as people anyway. It's not.
Don't finish my sentences.
What?
So yeah, that'll finish us up
I'm
for
constipated now. I mean, confused.
this episode. There's only a week until the Switch comes out. Next episode,
Holy crap! How did this happen so fast?
by the next time we talk, even if it is only in a week's time, the Switch will exist and be in our hands and we'll be playing video games on it. So that's exciting. But until then, I hope you are having a great time and see you next time, friendos.
Just a theory.
A smelling
Who's
theory.
that, boy?
Thanks for smelling.
That's it. I've discovered a new recipe.
Bye.